Hello everybody, this is Jaydenshaunts, and today we have to unbox and set up is the new for 2024 Spirit Halloween Art the Clown from Terrifier. This has been one of my most anticipated animatronics for this season, and I'm so excited that he is finally here. Go ahead and open the box here, and he does have a little slide out, which is nice. I have noticed that on a couple of Spirits animatronics this year, like Ghostface as well. So I'm excited that more and more of these guys are getting this pull out, because this makes it a lot easier to get them out of the box. Right off the bat, we have one of his shoes. This is hard plastic, which I really like. This is what is going to be either his back or his bottom. Instructions. Two of his poles. Here is his hand, which is actually hard plastic. I was not expecting that. That is hard plastic. That is awesome. And this is metal. I didn't expect that either. That is awesome. Okay then. They look a lot like latex, so it's almost like they were originally a latex sculpt, but they look really good. Plastic. Let's see, here's this head. Let's see if I can do this with one hand. Maybe. And there is his face. The nose did get a little scrunched up. That won't be hard to fix, but the mask is a latex covering over a plastic mold underneath. Here is another shoe. There's some leg foam, clothes, the main module with the motor, and the control box. His clothes, more leg foam, more leg poles, his adapter, and his base. Let's get all these parts laid out, make sure I have everything, make sure you have everything, and we'll get to his setup. Here are all of his parts laid out. You have the waving hand, the hand with the horn, the two pieces of leg foam, the shoulder frame that is attached to the motor turning module, the head turning module, and the control box, the back form, his heavy base. I was really surprised how heavy his base was. 4 various leg poles, his 2 feet, the bag with all the clothing and his glasses, his instructions, his adapter, and his head. And inside of the adapter box will be your small part labeled O, which is the screw for his head. Let's get to his setup. The first thing you're going to do is locate your 2 smaller straight poles, snap lock those into the base, and then locate your 2 hard plastic shoes and slide those on over your current assembly. Now you're going to locate your 2 longer poles that do have the bends in the knees and snap lock those in here at the top. Next, go ahead and slide on over the leg foam to the bends in the knees, so that way he has a little bit more of a natural look with his clothes on. Now we are going to slide on over his clothes. After sliding on over his clothes, go ahead and locate the main motor module assembly and snap lock that onto the leg poles. Now go ahead and locate your back portion. This is going to be his bottom. You are going to attach that to those 2 little pins that are sticking up. See if I can do it with one hand. Like so, to help keep the cloth out of the motor so it does not damage itself when it is in motion. Now we are going to pull up the clothes and slide through his arms. Now that you have the 2 arms attached, this would be a great time to go ahead and open up the back of his costume and plug in the wire for his head mechanism, the sensor, and the mechanism for the waving motion. Now let's go ahead and put on his head. After attaching Art the Clown's head, go ahead and attach the screw for his head. The head does sit in there pretty snug, but I went ahead and added the screw just for the added security on it. One thing that is extremely important to note about his costume is you do not want the costume on his neck. You want it to sit underneath his head, or this will cause problems with the mechanism. Do not wrap it around his neck. Put it underneath the head. Now go ahead and turn Art the Clown back around, because we are going to get ready to Velcro him back up. So I've already plugged in my adapter, but you also have the opportunity to plug in an external speaker jack, use a step pad, or use a try me button. This does not have any toggle switches. As soon as you plug in a step pad, it immediately deregisters the sensor, and the sensor will not get power, and it will only function on whichever of these modes that you have him on. I'm going to go ahead and turn him up maybe about halfway, and see how he is. If he's too quiet, I will turn him up, but I'm going to Velcro this back up now, and then we are going to put on his ruffle. Now Art the Clown is fully set up and assembled. Now you have the option to choose if you want to leave him with his eyes exposed or if you want to put on his glasses. For this first demo, I'm going to do it without his glasses, and then the next one, I will do it with his glasses. Let's get him plugged up and watch him go. Now let's go ahead and try him out with his glasses on. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is the new for 2024 Art the Clown from Spirit Halloween. I absolutely love this prop. I am really impressed with how well this is made. His costume is really high quality. It's quality to the point that I feel like you could wear it. It is really nice. It is also padded a little bit around his shoulders and his arms, which I do really like, so that way that metal bar on the inside is not just an eyesore showing through his arms. But one thing I will say is that he is a little bit too clean for my liking, but again, he is DIY, so that way you can make him as bloody or as clean as you would like. I do really like that you have that option to do that. Me personally, I prefer blood. I will be putting perma blood on him because if you've seen the Terrifier films, you are well aware of how bloody Art here can get. So I will be bloodying him up, and I am really excited to do that come this Halloween season. His hands are hard plastic, and the mechanism does look pretty durable. I am really happy with how this is. The paint job and the overall just sculpt looks really nice. I was really impressed with this being metal. This is metal. The paint job did get just slightly sloppy along here. That's not a big deal. You could just mark that in right under the fingers with a Sharpie. His face is not the most accurate thing in the world, but it is still very recognizable as Art the Clown. I will say I love that this is actually cloth up around his head instead of just a fully molded latex part. The eyes did get a little bit sloppy on the paint job on mine, but again, you can mark that in with the Sharpie and it should be just fine. I do love the actual blue eyes that they did use on him. Those look really cool. And again, as you guys noticed, the nose on mine at the beginning was a little bit scrunched up, but over time it just kind of pulled itself out. It hasn't even been that long. It's maybe been like an hour and it's already popping back out. Overall, this mask does have a little bit of give on the inside, so definitely be wary when you pack him away that you do not crush his face because it can potentially deform. It shouldn't be a big deal. The mask is very accessible from the underside, so you can get in there and shove some paper towels and he will be great. This is an overall a pretty great sculpt for a retail Art the Clown animatronic. I love that his feet are hard plastic and the build is pretty great. It's kind of strange to me that the motor is completely exposed for the head turning function. I've noticed that on several of YJ's animatronics this year, which is really strange because YJ is usually really good about keeping that stuff enclosed. But at the same time, I do kind of like that it is exposed because if that motor ever does fail, that makes it just that much easier to replace it and get him up and running again. So the torso motor seems pretty strong, and I don't see it having any sort of mechanical failure. The base is very heavy. He also does come with a weight bag for his base. I did not put that on mine. It stands up perfectly fine without it, but if you do use him outdoors on Halloween day and it is a little breezy, you definitely might want to make sure that you use that weight bag. But overall, I am extremely pleased with this animatronic, especially for that $199 price point. That is a really good deal for an animatronic of this quality and a licensed. We haven't seen Terrifier animatronics that much, and then this year we're getting our two first animatronics of Art the Clown in retail, and I am really excited. This guy is overall great. If you have the opportunity to pick him up, I highly recommend him. Order him online now or pick him up when your Spirit Halloween store is open near you. Thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to like, rate, comment, and subscribe.